This is the dark side of the dream job. I'm one of those guys. I've been a big dreamer my entire life. Ever since I was 16 years old, I'm in French 101 in high school, taking French because I never passed Spanish. And I'm writing my dream screenplay that I'm still writing to this day, 20 years later. Big time dreamer. I can recall working at McDonald's and Burger King and getting an idea and taking a double Whopper wrapper and writing my idea down and putting it in my pocket and going home with just dozens of receipt papers of ideas. I'm a big daydreamer. I'm a big goal setter. And for a long time, my vision of my desired life, my dream life, was a pipe dream. It started out as a fantasy. And like many of you, I dreamed of bigger and better things. I dreamed of making movies for a living, paying my bills with art money. What is art money? Art money is money that comes from your art. Art money is responding to a Craigslist ad of, hey, teach me Final Cut Pro, and then teaching somebody Final Cut Pro for an hour and they pay you double. And being able to pay your bills and eat with that art money, that was a pipe dream. You know, if you've been following me for long enough, you know that I created a vlog series called Pipe Dream, which is about making it. So like you, I'm a big time dreamer. And a lot of it starts in here. And if you're lucky enough, if somebody believes in you, and if you're able to pull it off, you're able to create your dream into a reality. But there is a dark side that comes from that, a side that nobody really talks about. One of those things is the pressure of performing at a high level. So for me, my dream job was to be a producer, editor, director, what we used to refer to as predators, a producer, editor, director, a one-man videographer, a guy that would follow somebody around and document their journey. Take this footage and turn it into podcasts. Take this documentation, turn it into daily vlogs. I mean, that was my dream job for a long time. That was my dream job for years. And in 2017, I was afforded the opportunity to do that full time, and I never went back. But then there's the pressure of constantly performing at a high level. There's these expectations that were placed on me to crush it, to kill it, that my content had to perform. And I'd never really had been given an opportunity like that. And so I had to hit home runs, not just hit home runs, but hit grand slams, multiple home runs. And, you know, before I was just used to putting players on base, let alone that constant pressure and anxiety that would come from performing at the highest level with the elite of the elite. So the pursuit of perfection in my dream job created this never-ending cycle of self-criticism and self-doubt. And that started to chip away at me for years and years at a time. Another aspect to consider when achieving your dream and acquiring your dream job is the potential for isolation. Then I was off on an island. All I did was shoot, come home and edit and upload and schedule things out and create thumbnails. And I thought that's exactly what I wanted. I'm getting tense just remembering. And looking at the numbers, being isolated, being stuck at home, working from home before the pandemic was really new to me. I was used to a commute. I was used to a 9 to 5. I was used to a 40-hour work week, and then you'd clock out, retire, and then enjoy the weekend. The weekends, there were no days off, right? So that's part of the dark side that nobody talks about is the isolation, you know, being able to maintain work-life balance. I've learned the hard way that there is no such thing as work-life balance. That's some hippie made that to sell you a course. There is no work-life balance. So I had a hard time managing my personal relationships and hobbies outside of work. I had no hobbies. My passion, my dream, my hobby turned into my career. I had no hobbies. To this day, my wife is like, you should get a hobby. I don't even know where to start. I mean, this is like the closest thing to a hobby for me, but I take it very seriously and I show up for it. And I take the 20 years of videography and video editing and my skills that I've acquired, and I take my professionalism and I take my criticism very seriously, and I apply it to this. And I still want this to get 1 million views. And I look at the numbers and it's like, is this a hobby? I don't know. It's an obsession. So with the dream job, also came sacrifices. It required long hours, extensive travel. It required relocation. It impacted my personal relationships and overall well-being. There was financial concerns for me of, you know, I had my dream job. I was paying my bills with art money. But if I didn't perform and if I didn't do my job, maybe that check wouldn't come in on time. Maybe rent was late. Maybe I have to hunt people down and ask them to pay me. Hey, did you see that invoice? Things of that nature. I thought being a freelancer was the answer to all my problems, because I was bought in on this conceit that I didn't want a boss. I didn't want to have a boss. I wanted to be my own boss. I created my own LLC and started, doing my own tax write-offs and doing my own taxes. And then you hire a CPA, and it's just like, no one teaches you these things. And I'm a self-taught guy. I went to YouTube University. I learned from the School of Hard Knocks. I never went to college, so I didn't learn the would-be's and the what you're supposed to do's and the absolutes and the definites. And I just didn't know these things. So a lot of sacrifices came into play. I sacrificed a lot of time for experience, time that I could have spent vacationing with PTO on a salary 9 to 5 and taking my family away and creating and cherishing memories with them. Instead, I got lost in the sauce and the grind of trying to make the ends meet. And so that's part of the dark side that no one really talks about. And so lastly, one of the dark sides of creating your dream job and acquiring your dream job is the risk of losing your passion and interest over what you obsess over time. Even the most exciting dream jobs can become mundane after a while, and it can become routine. And so that initial spark and excitement wears off. For me, it lasted 3 to 6 months where I was high as I could possibly go, euphoric. I'm paying my bills with art money, the thing I always wanted to do. I was convinced that if I could make a teacher's salary with art money, that's happily ever after. That's a wrap for me. I could go out like that. But, what I didn't anticipate was the negative aspects. Being able to realistically understand the challenges that I didn't know were going to pop up, that I didn't think would even pop up because I was too close to the elephant. I couldn't see the whole picture. Maintaining a healthy work-life balance, whatever that means, can help maintaining and navigating yourself from the dark side. And hopefully, if you're lucky, you can find long-term satisfaction in your dream job. Learn from me, learn from this video, the pitfalls and what you can possibly avoid. If you hear these things and if you can relate to it, let me know in the comments below. But the truth is, I want one person to watch this video and say, that's not going to be me. I'm going to get my dream job and I'm going to have X, Y, and Z figured out. And if that's you, you're lucky, man, because this idea of working for yourself and not having a boss, it sounds really sexy on paper. Try it.